Hi everybody, I'm here to share with you the most amazing book. It's called The Boy at the Back of the Class. And I know that lots of children in 4D have read it, but I think you'd really enjoy it. So I'm going to read to you first little part of the book. There used to be an empty chair at the back of my classroom. It wasn't a special chair. It was just empty because there was no one sitting in it. But then one day, just 3 weeks after school started, the most exciting thing that could ever happen to anyone happened to me and my 3 best friends. And it all began with that chair. Usually the best thing about starting a brand new term is you get extra pocket money to buy new stationery with. Every year on the last Sunday of the summer holidays, my mum takes me to an extra special adventure hunt down my stationery set for the new school year. Sometimes I get so excited that my feet feel jumpy inside and I don't know which shop I want to go in first. There aren't many nice stationery shops where I live. They only ever have boring dinosaur sets for boys or princesses for girls. So Mum takes me on the bus and the train into the city where there are a whole street of shops, even huge department stores that look like tall blocks of flats from the outside. This year I bought a Tintin and Snowy set. I love Tintin. Even though he's only a character in a comic book and isn't real, I want to be just like him when I grow up. I think about being a reporter and getting to solve mysteries and going on adventures. It must be the best job in the world. Because Tintin stationery set was a lot more expensive than the astronaut one and wasn't on sale, I could only buy a pencil case, a small ruler, and 2 rubbers. I had to think about it for a very long time, but in the end I decided spending all my pocket money in one go was definitely worth it. Not just because everything had Tintin on it, but also if you press a button on the pencil case, Snowy barks and Captain Haddock's voice cries, "Blistering barnacles." I've already been told off for pressing it in the middle of maths. But you can't press a barking dog button in maths, then I don't see the point in maths. I'm lucky because Tom and Josie and Michael are my best friends and they're always helping me with things I get stuck with. We do everything together. Tom's got short spiky hair and a side smile and a big Adam's apple that looks like a ping pong ball got stuck in his throat. He's the smallest in our group, but he's also the funniest. He joined our class last year after his parents moved here from America, but we became friends instantly. He has 3 older brothers who tease and bully him. Not seriously though. Josie has large brown eyes and at least 1 million freckles across her face. She's tall and gangly and is always chewing her hair. She's the fastest girl in our year and can kick a football past any goalie from the other side of the pitch. Josie heard one of the upper school bullies say that he was going to flush our class hamster, Herbert, I love that name, down the toilet at home time. Josie told me and we decided to go on a hamster rescue mission. We hid Herbert in my rucksack before home time and took him straight to my house. But of course, Mum found out and made me take him back the next day. I tried to explain to boring Mr. Thompson what had happened, but he wouldn't listen and just gave me detention. And even though she didn't have to, Josie stood up and said that she helped to steal Herbert too, so we just could do detention together. You know a friend's a best friend when they're willing to sit in detention with you. Michael has the neatest, puffiest afro of all the boys in our year. Most people think he's odd, but not us. His glasses are always broken and his shoelaces are never done right. He's always tripping up or bumping into things when he walks. But we're all so used to it that we never notice. Having 3 best friends can make school seem like the best place to be, even on the most boring day. Although this year, school has become a whole lot more fun, and that's because of our new teacher, Mrs. Khan. Mrs. Khan has extra bouncy hair and always smells of strawberry jam, which is much better than smelling like old socks like Mr. Thompson used to. She's new to the school and extra clever, much cleverer than Mr. Thompson ever was. And she gives us prizes on Fridays when we've all been good. No other teacher in our year does that. It was the 3rd Tuesday after school had started and Miss Khan was taking the register. She was just about to call my name when there was a loud knock at the door. Usually when there's a knock at the door, it's just someone from another class bringing a note, so no one really pays attention. But this time it was Mrs. Sanders, the head. Mrs. Sanders always wears her hair in the exact same way and peers over her glasses when she talks to anyone. Everyone is scared of her because when she gives attention, she doesn't make you sit in a room. She makes you memorize long words from a dictionary and doesn't let you leave until you've learnt them all off by heart, the meaning and the spelling. I've never heard of lower graders being stuck in detention. Sorry, I've heard of lower graders being stuck in detention for hours because they had to learn words that were as long as a page. So when Miss Sanders was at the door, we fell silent. She looked very serious, and as she walked up to Miss Khan, we all wondered who was in trouble. After she had whispered and nodded for a few seconds, she suddenly turned around and peered over her glasses at us, pointed to the empty chair at the back of the class. All of us turned around to have a look at the empty chair. This was the chair. There's the empty chair. As I said, it was a pretty, ordinary chair. But after the children whispered for a few moments, Miss Sanders left the classroom. We expected Miss Khan to say something, but she seemed to be waiting, so we waited too. It was all very serious and exciting, but before we could start guessing what was going on, Miss Sanders came back in, and this time she wasn't alone. Standing behind her was a boy none of us had seen before. He had short dark hair, large eyes that hardly ever blinked, and smooth pale skin. Everyone, said Mrs. Khan. The boy went and stood next to her. This is Amnet. He'll be joining our class from today. He's just moved to London, is new to the school. I hope you do your best to make him feel very welcome. We watched in silence as Miss Sanders led him to the empty chair. I felt sorry for him because I knew he wouldn't like sitting next to Clarissa at the back very much. I think it must be one of the worst things in the world to be in a new place and have to sit with people you don't know, especially people that stare and scowl at you like Clarissa did. I made it a promise to myself right there and then that I would be friends with the boy. I happened to have some lemon sherbets in my bag that morning, and I thought I would ask him to have one at break time. I'd ask Josie and Tom and Michael if they'd be his friends too. After all, having 4 new friends would be much better than having none, especially for a boy who looked as scared and as sad as the one now sitting at the back of our class. And then they go on a bit of an adventure. So I hope if you see this book around the school, you might think to pick it up and enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you for listening.